All right, let's get to our money line underdog parlay stuck. What did we have last week? I think I had the Rams in that last week, so that was terrible. And then who did you have?
I had the Bears.
Oh yeah. Okay, so you hit. So yeah, that's on me. Um, but we'll try to get it. Try to get it right this week. Where are you going?
I'm gonna go with the Jags. I already talked about it. Uncertainty with the quarterback too. It does look like Pearsall should be good to go, but all the other injuries I mentioned are definitely concerning. Bosa, that's huge. Like their defense is like stars and scrubs unit, and that's gonna have a trickle down effect. I like what I'm seeing from this Jags team. Like just do the things that your coaches, they're so improved on both sides of the ball schematically. So yeah, I think this will be a coin flip game.
Yeah. It's just I think the injuries are a real issue for San Francisco. And this we're only 3 weeks in and they haven't really played anybody, so uh it's possible that these are like the Jags are the better team, but the Jags haven't played anyone, so we don't really know. So yeah, like taking the dog on the money line there as well. I'm gonna go with the Tampa Bay Bucks plus 160, and normally I would be fading the Bucks in this spot,
This is
but
the luck bowl, two luckiest teams in
yep,
the
top two
NFL.
teams in luck, and the Eagles are about 12% luckier somehow, and that's
Which
why
is
I want to go
the
with the
Bucks,
Bucks here.
the first team in NFL history to win uh their first three games on last minute drives, and the Eagles are still luckier. Unbelievable. These are
Yeah,
teams I'm like 0 and 5 betting against these teams this year.
I wrote up last week. I talked about how we just don't know exactly where the new normal is for the Eagles, right? Like we knew there was going to be a downtick in their production just because of the some of the Kellen Moore leaving, the exodus of talent on defense, Petulio coming in, just like a
Offensive
lot of
line
different.
isn't as good.
Right,
It's
right.
backed
Just
in.
a lot of different things, and just could be a hangover. First time they've won a Super Bowl, so you just didn't know where the floor truly was because we were 2 weeks in. You didn't want to overreact, but thought the Rams are more so thought the Eagles were a good fade, and sure enough, they come out and just do absolutely nothing on offense for half the game. End up going down 26-7, and then the Rams kind of do what some of these teams just again, it's some of these like these I don't even want to call
McVay
McVay
can't
a
manage a
veteran
game.
coach, but yeah, it's
He's so good at everything else. He cannot manage a game. But everyone's saying the Eagles' pass game is like magically fixed.
no,
Like
no.
it, it was the same like two routes to AJ Brown, who was like pushing off on half of them against Emmanuel Forbes, who has no chance. But like there's still nothing. There's no creativity, no juice. They're playing from behind, just like throwing it up to AJ Brown. Like that, this is still broken. And are they going to do that? You can't run on the Bucks.
You can't.
If they
That's the
come out
key.
and try to run, they're in trouble.
So they essentially what they do is they make the Bucks make Jalen Hurts usually try to beat the blitz, and they've been pretty successful at doing that these last few years. They've always given the Eagles fits, and I think what was it last year? Eagles went yeah, the Eagles
They didn't have
went
their
into Tampa
receivers to be
Bay and
fair.
lost 33-16. And then in the playoffs, remember the year before, but also now I think they're a little bit in the Eagles' heads because the Eagles are going out there early in the week because of
They're
the
trying to acclimate the community.
in September, folks. Like that's it. Let's not get crazy here. Like, I just think they're in their heads a little bit. This is a team that they just haven't been able to beat for some reason, and I mean we know the reason because they make it tough to run, but also the key too is that yeah, the Bucks are extremely banged up. But Eagles, I mean Lane Johnson, he's a little. I mean, he said he's gonna play, but you never know with like a neck issue. If they have to go out there, they're in hot weather. They're throwing the ball around. Like they're not getting the explosives in the run game. This Eagles offense, I mean, it could be a lot more broken than we think because you're playing down 26-7 is just a whole different type of you're playing different type of coverages. Then you're going to play against a Bucks team that now has a week to prepare. The Bucks, maybe they have they can do some things on offense. Maybe they end up being the team that and keeps it away from the Eagles. Baker Mayfield's always extending plays, just like Hurts does. Even they haven't been calling design runs for Hurts. Do they kind of do that here? And kind of like is that something they do? either way, I don't think that gives them margin. And we know Baker's good for a late drive, some one way or another. Like he's going to throw some picks probably in this spot, but yeah, I think Abuka is a star, and Bucky Irving is a star, and Barkley just doesn't look as explosive. They haven't been blocking it up as well. Hurts doesn't look as explosive. Brown doesn't look as explosive. So yeah, I want to buy low on the. I might play the spread too in this one. Just got to see more of the injuries, but I just can't. I think the
You're not
Eagles and
buying
Bucks
low
are
in the
both.
box. These are 2-3-0 teams, but
But that's what. But like, I don't think that. Do we really think the Eagles are what 5 points better than the Bucks right now? Like, I just think they're both lucky.
my problem is I don't mind using this as a money line dog. There's a lot of uncertainty.
Mhm.
Wirfs playing would be enormous because if they're not going to know till the end of the week on him and Godwin because Evans is out. If him and Godwin come back, it is so big because Gadecki and Malk are already on IR. If And that O-line was a disaster last week against the Jets, and the Eagles have a much better front, even though it's down. They couldn't block them. If the refs wanted to, they could have called 25 holds. But there's only so many holds you can call. I think they called like 6 holds in the first quarter.
Yep. It's
They couldn't
crazy.
block them. But if you get Wirfs back, one of the best left tackles, if not the best in the NFL, then you can move Barton back to center, and then it's like a lot more solidified. But if you don't have Wirtz back, you have 5 guys basically in new positions. Like it's bad. And then if you don't have Godwin, there's more attention on Ibuka because there's no Evans. So it makes it a little dicier. One thing to keep in mind though, this will help you maybe this week. The tush push penalty. It
Hmm.
happens every time. Maybe they call it, cost them 4 points, cost them a drive, and you got Vita Vea, and I think they're going to bring up Desmond Watson. I cannot wait to watch this. The tush push stopper. He's 460 pounds. I assume he's going to go in there. Maybe the Eagles will like go hurry up to do it. I can't wait for that dynamic. Like knowing that they might bring him in, so they can't sub. I don't know, but
Yeah, this is.
that'll be fun to watch. But
I just think this
injuries
is one of those games where the Bucks, like, yeah, the Bucks have been lucky too, but I just think they can. This is one of those games where they can kind of get in the Eagles' heads a little bit just because of the history and then of the fact that, like, what do the Eagles do in this spot? Did they say, okay, they have a great run defense, even with the tush push, like, should we just come out throwing from the jump? But if that's going completely, anti what they've been doing most of the time, and they get into trouble when they do that. So yeah, I just like the variant, the potential, like, for variance here, but yeah, that will be a good matchup. I think the Bucks are well equipped to stop the Eagles in ways that a lot of other teams aren't. All right, let's close it out with. So yeah, Jags plus 155 at DK, and the Bucks at plus 160. So you got these two South Florida teams parlayed. You get plus 560. It's a nice one there. Let's close it out with our anytime touchdown parlay. You had Kareem Hunt last week. It's a nice one there. I played that as well. What are you going this week?
Give me Packers, Cowboys. I kind of lean over. I think there's gonna be some point. Like, I don't see how the Cowboys get any stops. I don't think they're gonna be able to run the ball. They're gonna have to chuck it around. There's no CD Lamb. So who can potentially take those targets? Who could get in garbage time? I think the Cowboys gonna be playing from behind, passing game script. I think it's Turpin. And you could get one on special teams too. So give me Turpin.
Yeah, he's plus 360, and he already saw an uptick in routes last week with Lamb out, and they were already getting him more involved on the offensive side of the ball. So I like that he's probably going to play, over half the snaps on offense, and he's too good to really take off the returns. I would think so. Yeah, he's gonna get a lot of opportunities. So I like that. I'm actually gonna stay in that game and go with Matthew Golden at plus 210. This guy, with all, I don't know how the Packers just every year they find themselves, like, all the receivers get hurt, and so Golden, he's essentially a full-time receiver now, right along with Dobbs. It's Golden, Dobbs, Wicks, and Golden's the number 2 receiver, and he was one of the 3 Packers to run more to lead the team in routes run in the red zone last week. So not just a deep ball guy, but they're looking to try to get him going deep, and they've just missed a couple of times, but we saw this Cowboy team, even though they sit back and play zone and don't blitz a lot, you can still, with a fast receiver, just run right through the secondary. We saw it with
It's a
Wandale Robinson and then
disastrous
Luther.
defense. And they might have corner injuries too.
Yeah, always. So I think this is the spot for Golden here. They've been trying, and after that just hideous offensive showing last week, He's probably gonna get one. And I also don't mind going back to Jacobs. I believe he scored 8 straight before the Browns stonewalled him, and they ended up going to the tight end, the third string tight end. So I wouldn't even mind parlaying Jacobs as a third leg as well. But officially, we'll go with Turpin at plus 360, Golden plus 210, and that already gives you plus 1325. So nice juicy money anytime touchdown parlay.